Hello friends, in this lecture we will continue with sketch modeling and we will know how to draw arcs. Arcs are a type of partial circle. So we can find this arc command by going to this sketching panel. Click on the circle tool, click on this arrow. We have three types of arc. 3-point arc, 3-point arc starting with limits, and then simple arc. So we are going to learn them one by one. So first of all, I am going to start with a 3-point arc. As the name suggests, to create these types of arc, we need 3 reference points. So I click on this and now we need to define 3 points. So we can also define these points using the coordinate system, horizontal axis and vertical axis, and then we can insert the value of radius of the arc. So I am clicking some random points. So let's say this is the first point. So I click here. Okay, first of all, let's turn off this grid display and then turn off this snap to point. And then click for the first point and then click in somewhere else for the second point. And then we need to define another point, that is a third point. So let's say I'm clicking here and that is the third point. So this is the type of arc we can draw using 3-point arc. So this arc is defined by the parameter that is called radius. So we can click on this constraint option, constraint, select this arc and then we can define its radius. So I click here, this is the center of arc and this is the radius. So I can make a double click on the dimension as we know and we can change this value. So let's say I want this 10 and then click OK. Similarly, we can also use some more reference point to create the arcs. So for this, let's pan this. And then I draw a rectangle. So go to rectangle tool, click on this basic rectangle, click for the first point and for the second point. And then go to arc tool and click on this 3-point arc. So we need to select this first point and then select for the second point, this corner point and this third point. So we can see this arc is passing through 3 points. So the next type of arc we have is the arc with limits. So I go to pen and then click on this arc with limits. So once again, to create these types of arc, we need 3 reference points. So I click for the first point and then click for the second point and then click for the third point. So we can specify the third point like this. So the difference in this type of arc is that the first point and the second point will be the end point of the arc. So let's understand this more deeply. I once again select this option. I click here. Let's pan this. I click here. So this is the first point of arc and that is the starting point. So I click here. This is the end point and now we can see the preview of an arc. So this first point and the starting point will be the end points of the arc. And now we need to define a point somewhere in between this arc. So that is the difference. So now we can click for the third point and draw the arc. So that depends on the references which we are choosing while doing the sketch. So the third type of arc we have is a simple arc. In this type of arc, we define a center and then 2 end points. So let's pan this. Okay, so press escape and let's do it once again. I select this arc option and click for the first point. So the first point will be the center of the arc. And then drag the mouse and we can see the preview of a circle. And then click in somewhere. This point will be the first end point of the arc. So when I drag the mouse, we can have a preview of the arc. So the first point was the center of arc. Second point was the end point of the arc and then we need the second end point. So I click here and in this way we can draw the arc.